Still don't know. Yeah, I feel like how you feel, so I really don't know what's going on, but we're still waiting patiently. Hopefully, we'll get the good news before tomorrow's game.
The big man gonna start tomorrow night? Big man. Back man.
Mike Parks.
Oh, Mike, no, we're going to stay with the same starting lineup right now. Mike will play, but we're trying to work him back in. He'll get some minutes for sure.
He's had to do some with the practice since the last game.
Yeah, Mike, he actually looks good. You know, that week off, he really worked hard. We have some things that we can do with him in the pool. We have an underwater pool, and we have this thing called the Alter G, where it can take the weight off of him, and he can still condition. So he came back and had fresh legs on the floor, so he looks really good.
What do you think you guys took away? What are you working on? What did you take away from that first game here trying to apply this one?
Well, we took away that if we turn the ball over the way we turn the ball over and foul the way we foul and lose a rebounding game against a more superior team like we're going to see, it could be a loss. So, and what we worked on is protecting the ball, boxing out, trying to win the free throw game, and and defending without fouling. That's what we've been really working on.
Was there a lot of film work? How did you go through it with him? Did you?
Yeah, there's been a lot of film work. I watched the Tennessee Tech game over and over again to see our tendencies, our practices every day. Watched LSU's, both their games against Southeast Louisiana and North Carolina Greensboro. And I watched those games 3 times just to try to find tendencies or whatever. And the same thing is constant with them. They're just going to crash the glass and be tough all night, and we have to do the same thing. We have some areas where we just give one effort, and there need to be multiple efforts. And you can't go on the road and fight. We have to fight.
Only 11 free throws. You only shot 11 free throws. The guards have to get to the rim more than settle them for the
Yeah,
threes.
absolutely. And that's what I talked to them about. There's a lot of opportunities on film where we see we can get to the basket, and we choose to throw it out for a 3. I mean, we want to shoot our fair share of those because we can make them. We've proven that we can make them. The last game, we just didn't. But we played good enough defense to win the game. But we have to win the free throw game. We got to get 15 to 20, 25 free throws a game. I feel like we have to throw the ball inside, and our bigs have to be dominant down there and at least get fouled. And our guards got to take advantage of getting to the basket and getting fouled as well.
You mentioned the thing about the rebounding. Do you think Mike can make that much of a difference to what you do, or are you just going to try to work in them?
No, Mike he definitely can make that big of a difference. I watched the game against them last year here against LSU, and he was very dominant on the glass. He had a really good game in that game. So what he does is consistent. He hustles, and he brings that energy every day. So it's going to be some good stuff to happen for us. But we were small a lot in that game against Tennessee Tech, and they were larger and they were big. And the same thing with LSU, they're going to be bigger. Our smalls just have to box out. They have to box out and get those guys coming over our backs. If we do that and stay disciplined, we'll be okay.
How is Tyler's
Nas is complete talent. He's a guy that's inside, outside guy, can handle the ball, can shoot, can post, good defender as well as far as at the rim. He's a pro.
How do you guys plan on slowing down Tremont Waters down in LSU? He's pretty fast.
Yeah, Tremont is a really good player. I've known him for about 4 or 5 years now because I coached against him in AAU, and he's always been a special player. He knows what he can do. He's very aggressive on both ends of the floor, and we just have to make him uncomfortable the entire game. If you can do that, that's what we're going to try to do. Is just contested jump shots, keep him in front of us as best we can, and when he goes to the basket, we got to make him make good decisions.
When you're watching film at LSU, is there a particular player that kind of concerns you more on the scouting report?
I don't think it's one particular player. You have to say Tremont because he came in here last year as a freshman and played really well against the Tigers. But he's the head of the snake. But they have so many players that just all out hustle. And that wins you basketball games, especially at home. They're in the top 25 in front of 12,000 people. It's going to be a crazy environment. And we just look at their entire team as something that we have to deal with, not just one person. But if it is one, it will be Tremont.
How was Tyler Harris's confidence in his shot after the last game?
Tyler's confidence will never be shook. I'm sure he's, understands that was just one game. And I don't think we'll ever see that again with him going over from the field. He has so much pride, and he's lived in the gym. I would never be concerned about his confidence.
Speaking of that, going on the road, logistically for you, this is your first college team to take on the road into what should be a very hostile environment. And outside of what happens in the game, what are you looking for your team, how they should respond to it?
Well, I'm looking for a lot of things. I'm looking for toughness. I'm looking for multiple efforts. I'm looking for who's going to be first to the floor. I'm looking for who's going to outwork their man and not be outworked. I'm looking for all those toughness things that you have to be able to do on the defensive end. And offensively, getting to the basket and getting a foul, not settling for a jump shot, rebounding the ball, tough rebounds, and then, playing strong. the entire game. I'm looking for that for the entire game from everyone.
How about handling the crowd environment on the road?
Well, that's going to be, a challenge within itself because, the hometown crowd could get rowdy. But if you believe in our system and what we built, and we're definitely well prepared, we'll be okay.
When you saw the schedule came out and you saw you're going to have to go to LSU the second of the year, did you think that this? What did you think? Did you think it would be a good chance to establish what this program is going to be under you? Did you?
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. No, I was excited because if you know me, since I've been a coach, I've always tried to schedule the toughest games, in-state, out-of-state, to try to go play the best talent in AAU. And now nothing changes. When I see a team like LSU on the schedule in the second game of the year, it's an opportunity for us to go and make noise. And I always relish those moments.
What do you say to your team so they don't go in there on national TV against a ranked team on the road for the first time, so they don't go in there with the deer in the head like, look?
We just said, you just got to be relentless for 40 minutes. You got to be a dog. You're going to be exposed if you're not going to be because they're going to expose you. And if you're not going to fight, then it's going to show. And that's what I tell them. That's one way you're not going to be a deer in headlights if you start on the defensive end. The defensive end you can control.
This is the start of a pretty tough stretch of games for you guys. Even the Yale and South Dakota State teams like that are pretty good. How do you foresee this team sort of progressing over these next couple of weeks?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we put a system in place on both ends of the floor that we truly believe in and the guys believe in, and we go out there and take care of our business. Then I think we'll be okay. I mean, we're playing some formidable opponents. I mean, Yale just beat Cal in China, and South Dakota State, they made the NCAA tournament, and they're a really good team. So, and then you got the Orlando tournament. So, I mean, it's what I want. It's just going to prove to me who I am and who my staff is and where our guys are. We're not shying away from the competition.
You guys are going to play a lot of freshmen tomorrow. They're going to play a lot of freshmen as well. In what ways does that sort of impact the game, or does it at all?
Well, it will impact the game because our freshmen, they didn't play really well in the first game against Tennessee Tech. So we're going to see what they're made of. And we recruited these guys because we know they were winners. And if I'm a betting man, they're going to come and be ready to play at LSU. They're ready for that game.
Those LSU freshmen were very highly rated freshmen. Do you think that they're going to sort of take that to heart to sort of prove that they can play with those guys?
Absolutely, because I guess thus far we're supposed to be the toughest opponent that they faced. Southeast Louisiana and North Carolina, Greensboro. They weren't supposed to be competition, but now Memphis is coming in. We're supposed to be. So they're going to be extra hyped. They're going to be ready, and those freshmen are going to want to prove a point.
Talk about you logistically, just as a head coach now, taking your first team on the road. Anything changes in your routine, and you sit at the front of the bus or the first seat in the airplane?
Yeah, no, I don't know about the plane seating yet. I'll have to get a feel for that. But as far as the bus, it's always the first seat on the bus. I've always done that just to be the first one on, because when the guys come on, I'd like to give them 5 and kind of speak to them and kind of see where they are mentally. That's my way of seeing them come on the bus and what kind of emotions they're having or what mood they're in. So, but as far as the plane, I really don't know yet. But I'm ready for the road trip. I've always been anxious to go on the road and play against tough teams.
You got a secret special handshake for each player that you give?
No, I don't have a handshake. Not a special handshake, a regular handshake, yes. But nothing special.
Hit them with the,
Not yet.
tap action or something like
Not yet. We went to LSU, maybe I'll create one. I don't know.
Before the last game, Kareem Bruton was in here, so he's the second player to go on record for saying that he can beat you. So,
No comment. We'll just worry about LSU right now. I'll get to Kareem later.
Hey, what role do you see Thornton playing against LSU on this game?
Man, we need Ray to be a beast. He's a strong body. He's a playmaker. He can knock down threes. He can defend 1 through 4. We're going to need him to go out there and be a senior. I mean, he's a veteran, and he's played on the road before in big games. Played this team last year, even though they have 3 new freshmen. But played this team last year, understands what's at stake, and it's time for us to make our name for ourselves on this road trip.
You mentioned the size that they have. Do you see yourself playing those small lineups that you played against Tennessee Tech again? Do you see
We're going to play them, and if it causes us any problems, then we'll have to adjust. But right now, we have to see if our speed can be an asset for us.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck.